Hi guys, hope you're all well. Been a while since I've done a video, but I've been busy doing sort of projects and one thing or another. Plus I've had sort of a cough or a chest infection, I don't know, but I always feel that at my age you expect these things. But anyway, I've been keeping busy. I've got about 4 projects to put on here. This is one of them, which I've been doing for a little while, and I've actually finished it now. Now you all know, hang on, you all know what this is. It sort of came out in the mid-90s, late 90s I believe, and Kyosho were, I don't know if they were struggling, but they were making lots of like ready-to-run kits with a dreadful GS. I think it was a 15 engine in it. It wasn't even like an ABC engine, it was just like a brass, I don't know, it's a dark colour sort of metal, like a nickel or something, but you know, it couldn't pull the skin off a rice pudding, and it wore out kind of like after about 3 or 4 runs. It was an absolutely disgrace really. And they stuck them in all these ready to run cars, you know, the early ones that they made, that was quite cheap, you know. And I saw this in the model shop back in the day and thought nothing of it. I thought it was like a, you know, waste of time with that engine in it. But they kind of got a bit of a cult following now. And I managed to find one. I don't know if you find one. I had a good mate of mine who collects a lot of Kyosho stuff. He bought one quite a while ago and he didn't do anything with it. And I had some flat pan associated car bits that he sort of wanted. So we done a deal, done a swap, and I come away with this. But it's no ordinary, you know me, it's no ordinary quad bike, you know, what they call it, quad rider. I've done a few changes to it, and I'll show you what I've done to it. I mean, I didn't change the green shocks, you know, I mean, they are grotesque. They don't work very well, but it's what you first recognise with this quad, you know, those terrible shocks. If you watch all the videos of them, they're all sort of spinning around in circles, don't seem to run that well. Anyway, we'll have a look sort of further inside to what I've done with this one. Let's take the body off. I mean, as you can see, it's not, I can't find a rider yet for love nor money. Everyone hangs on, you know, I did get a few parts for this, but not much, you know, and I'm in the Facebook group like you always do, see if you can find some parts. And I had some good luck off a guy who was on the forum, Splitty Beckett. He got me a new top chassis section. I mean, this is very heavy, you know, it's off a Ricky Carmichael bike. It looks alright, but there's a lot of weight there, very hot, top heavy. But anyway, this is kind of the workings of the bike, and you know me, I can't leave anything alone. I always have to kind of change it or do something with it. Let's just put the camera down a little bit. Right, that's better. So, the first thing I wanted to do was put a 2-speed gearbox in here. I don't know why, but I find an IC without a 2-speed gearbox very boring. You know, I do love my nitro, but you know, it's spilling stuff over me already. But I still like a nitro, and I thought maybe I could change this to, you know, a 2-speed gearbox. So I went along the lines. I think this is a Zen gearbox. Now normally, I don't know if you know, the chain is on this side. So it had a straight run. This was just one spur gear, and moulded to the spur gear was a sprocket which went down to the sprocket on the back here. But yes, that's what we had originally. But I thought to myself, what about if I drill right through these 2 side frames? So I drilled right through this one to come out here, and I put the chain on the other side. So instead of the chain being on this side, it went on that side. And I noticed, I don't know if this is, every Kyosho you see has got a chain that this loose. I do not know why. Maybe, you know, if you take a link out of it, or 2 links you have to take out of it, it's too tight. so you're stuck with it. You know, you can move them. You can't really move the engine back and forwards. There's nothing to do with it now. It just runs on the shaft. More about that a bit later on. But anyway, so I've got they've got like a ball diff in here, which is really nice. Yeah, that works well. So it had one of the horrible engines in it, GX15 or whatever it was. I can't remember. But again, I swapped some helicopter parts for the mate of mine, and he had almost new. I think this is a GX. It's a go-kart engine, GZ15, I believe, or 16. You know, and it's virtually like brand new. You know, quite a powerful little engine. They put them in the go-karts and the phasers, all that kind of thing. Quite a powerful little engine. Because I've recently sold my go-kart now, but I had a go-kart. And you know, once you put a gyro in them, they went really well. And watching all the videos of these, I've not seen one go in a straight line yet. They always spin round in circles, and you know, I thought, well, I could put a gyro in here, maybe it's going to sort it out, you know. But anyway, I found out that it doesn't need a gyro. Well, not this one anyway. So after I've gone through there and I've come out there, I've bored the sides out to take a ball race. So we've got the actual swinging arm, which is here, which is sprung by an awful shock absorber, but it's there. So we've got the two arms there, and it had like bushings in the middle. So what I've had to do, you know, to get this in, I've had to kind of skim a little bit here, a little bit there, you know, lose a bit, just about a mil, you know, just to give me clearance, because the gear on the clutch belt, I don't see that, but it runs so close to the clutch belt, and I didn't want to move the engine back any further. In fact, I couldn't really put it back any further because of the pull start and everything else on it. But I've got the engine in, and this is the original brake. So I thought, well, I can put that back where it was. So the original brake went just here, and it brakes on the clutch belt on there. You know, that's a really old idea, but that's what Kyosho did. Saving money, I guess. I haven't got a clue. So I put it back there, and I put the servo on top. It pulls a little wire and whatever. And because I'm so stupid, it didn't work, because there's a one-way bearing in here. So as soon as you lock the clutch belt up, it just freewheeled. You know, like, look, clutch belt's locked up and it just freewheels. So I had to sort of go back to the drawing board and think, well, I can't put a brake on there. Maybe I can put a brake on the other side of this. So what I managed to do, lucky enough, I made this shaft longer to start with anyway. But I made that shaft there probably about 10 mil longer, and I managed to take, this was the unit that actually you can see in there. You can see in there, there's like a little Frodo lining, and I made this, this unit here was the original brake on the other side. So I made this kind of brake drum here, and I had to hire this up. Ideally, it needs to come up a little bit more, but I extended the chassis out of the back here. So we've got this little piece here extended out, so I could mount this, which is like the caliper, if you want to call it. And I put a servo on the front there with a cable pull, and I mixed it with the throttle, so you know, when you throttle, brake comes off. When you throttle down, brake comes on, and it works absolutely fantastic. Almost locks the wheels up. I'm over the moon with that brake, because apparently they never worked. They never had a brake, you know, so to speak of you know. So I had to buy a new tank as well, but this one looks like it's leaking. There's nothing in it, but it still wants to leak. So what I've done with this, I've done away with the, excuse me, I've done away with the gyro, because first time I took it out, I didn't know what to expect, you know, and I was amazed, you know, it went so well. it changed gear perfectly, and it just sounds so good. Absolutely sounds so good. But in my rush to get out, I forgot to sort of Loctite half the bolts in there, so it all started falling apart. But it was just a quick run to see if I've got things right, you know. And I turned the gyro and even unplugged it, and it goes in a dead straight line. You don't need any gyro. And I believe this is because I've got the engine driving gear on this side, and I've got a chain on that side. And I think it balances out the torque of the engine, so it goes in a dead straight line. It is absolutely fantastic. Gearbox works fantastic, and you've got to remember that that's going through from one side to the other, which you never had any of this on this side. This is all what I've made up. And I found a nice little manifold and a little expansion chamber. You know, it starts really easy. It's just a wonderful thing. I've got one of them lifey batteries in there, which you never seem to have to charge up. I'll just show you the brake and the throttle working. I'm going to start it up. Well, I've got to find it on. Oh, it's on my radio. That's okay. Right, so we switch this on. If I can find the switch. Right, just let it bind. Right, so I've got my steering. I've got a faster servo in there, a stronger one. And we've got the throttle. Right, if you can see, it's almost pulling the chassis in. But that's the way the brake works. So I don't know if you can see in the background, I think just here, see the throttle one working, and then when you pull back on the brake, it's quite a powerful servo this, you can see it trying to bend it up. But I mean, it will lock the wheels up, no problem. The brake works absolutely perfect. I've not got any servos up here, I've just got a really light battery up there. Got that kind of working the best I can. You know, it's quite an interesting thing to drive really, because you know, as you steer it, it tends to want to lift up a back wheel. It's sort of like, it goes right down on the front like that, and it tries to sort of pivot on that front wheel, and it wants to pull. I'll just turn the radio off. Oh, I can never find the switch. I've got it. So as you're turning, it tries to go round and it pivots on that right front wheel, and it lifts it back up like that, and it can go around, and you can just sort of control it to sort of keep it up like that. And I've had it going along actually on like two wheels up like that. It's a really fun thing to drive, you know, to drive and play with. I've not tried it off-road yet, that's what I need to do. But you know, the weather's not been great here, and I'll keep starting other projects, so it's keeping me quite busy. With this rider, I mean, it weighs, because it's like blown moulded plastic, it's really, really heavy, and honestly, it handles better obviously without it on, but it looks quite good. It's quite realistic, and it's red, and it's Honda. So, you know, I had one laying around, but if anyone out there wants to let go of a quad rider, I'll be very, very happy. Like I say, lots of people have got them, but they won't give them away. But I believe they're a lot lighter, and it will handle better. But if you know you want to hang on to them, no worries. But you can always contact me on my channel, and you know I'll be happy to do a deal. So I had to make up some little footrests on here. They just thread on. If you wanted to, you could put a nut on the back of them. Because this, it should have, there's like a little grey plastic moulding that comes around here that the original rider goes. I've actually got that. I mean, the guy, Squidgy Beckett, gave me, well, I bought off him this top piece because my body mounts were broken off. I really need the top piece as well, because this is almost worn through. Obviously people have been riding it and without the body on, and it's actually ground through almost to the hole where the pin goes. So you know, when you want to hold a body on, you haven't got, you know, got quite a lot to hold on. But overall, I'm amazed at this model. You know, why couldn't the Kyosho made this? You know, I don't think they put any thought into this model whatsoever. I just knocked it out. You know, the chain obviously I believe was on the wrong side, so it doesn't drive very well. It wants to spin round all the time. I'm trying to get a video of him, but I've lost my the guy who stole my video for me. He's not available at the moment, so and where I go, they put a gate on, so I can't get my car in. So like I did with the 4-cylinder Mojave, I can't sort of put the video camera in the back of my car like I did before. So it's very awkward for me to sort of video the thing. You know, what I might do is see if I can walk over there with the tripod or something like that and see if I can get some video going, but it'll only be it passing the front, but you'll hear the gear change, and it just comes alive. You know, it was just a thought in my head, and it, you know, it was quite easy to do. It was quite hard boring out for the actual ball races that go in there. I mean, I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ball races just going across there to keep that solid. And it's a shame that the you know, it's got a little bit of twist in there, but it's not really, you know, if it had a little bit more it'd probably handle better. But I'm over the moon with this little thing. It drives so well. It doesn't use a lot of fuel. It seems to run forever. It's lovely. I bought a new tank because the other one, the primer wasn't working, and you need a primer on this little engine. But as usual, they're leaking all around there. You know, this is a later one. I really wanted the one with the red top because they were a lot better. You know, once again, Kyosho must have been cutting costs somewhere, you know. And it's such a shame because, you know, they made some really, you know, nice models back in the day. You know, something a little bit unusual. I mean, this would have been great if it had came out like this in the first place. You know, with a 2-speed gearbox, with the shaft going right through, you know, it would have been so. It's not a big job to do. It's not that awkward to do it, you know. It didn't take me long, really. Everything kind of fell into place. It was just a thought of where am I going to put the chain, but it goes on the other side. The wheelbase is exactly the same. It's no different. So if anyone you guys ever want to make something like this, it's really, really simple to do. You know, it's a Zen gearbox. You drill these separately because they've got a pilot hole. And there's a hole in the other side where the swinging arm goes through. So, you know, you just line that up, follow it through. And then I made a little boring tool. It was like a reamer that I made up with teeth on it. And it had a pilot that went through there. And I bored it out, I believe it was 10mm for the bearings. And they fit in there lovely. And, you know, it's as smooth as you like. So that's it in a nutshell. I've got a few more videos to do, but I'm over the moon with this one. I love it. Any comments, put down below if you want to do, you know, build one or anything like that. And if you've got actually a quad ride, that'd be nice. I'll just say about the rear wheels. The rear tyres, I didn't want to wear them out because they were quite a good condition. So these are associated wheels. And if you take the hexagon off, they go straight onto the pin. So you can use associated wheels and tyres all the way around. You know, and these have been really good. They're really got grippy. Front ones I need to change because where it's been sitting for a long while, they're almost like square. Can you see the square patch on them? And when you get up to speed, they start sort of wobbling around. But I have got another set to go on there. It's not a big deal, but if you ever store your models, always store them on like a wooden plate, you know, a block or something like that. Don't store them on the wheels because it damages the wheel, the tyres. They just get in flat spots and you'll end up with a wheel like that. So there we go. I'm going to sign out now. I've got another little video to do, quite interesting. Well, I think it is. Whether you or not, don't know. So I'll see you in the next one, guys.